Hello again, it's Pete Taylor here, and I'm now 2.5 days into my preparations for Sourdough Saturdays at the Heron Cornmeal in Beetham. Yesterday I fed my two starters, one wheat and one rye, for a second time and left them in the kitchen to get going because there wasn't much happening when I had them in the fridge. So now after 24 hours in the kitchen, things have all changed, and the rye, which was only half filling this pot yesterday, is now right up to the top, and as you can see there's lots of bubbles, lots of action going on, and you can see from the side that there's plenty of bubbles developing over the 24 hours there. The wheat, which was also not looking very active, still isn't looking very active to be honest, but it's had plenty of bubbles in there overnight, and I'm quite happy that that's coming back to life now. So I'll be feeding that again and putting it back in the fridge, and I think that's quite happy to go in the fridge. This little beast needs cutting right back. It's starting to smell, it smells of kippers this morning, if you can believe it. So what's really happening there is that all hell has broken loose, and there's a turf war going on between all the various wild yeasts that are present on the flour that I've made this starter with. So over the next few days, one strain of yeast will become dominant in this culture, and that's the process of settling down. It settles down to be sort of run by one strain of yeast, but at the moment there's several strains all vying for top place, and there's all sorts of nasty smells happen while that's going on. So some of the strains that produce these nasty smells and bitterness and all sorts of things, they'll be defeated by hopefully a nice friendly strain that's going to be well behaved, and the main point is it's going to be really vigorous, and there's clearly at least one vigorous strain of yeast in this little pot here, so no problems with that one taken on. So I'll deal with that one first. So it's grown a lot, and I'm going to cut it right back, so I'm going to throw most of that away, not aiming at half. I'll probably go for 3/4 of that. Get rid of that now, and that's frothing away as I do it, so there's plenty of life in there. So I've cut that right back, as you can see. There's just a small portion there, so that when I give it a normal sized feed, which is 25 grams of flour, 35 grams of water, as you'll know by now, that will see that as a real good feast, and it'll get stuck in there. So I've weighed out my 25 grams of rye flour. That can go straight in the pot, and then, as usual, I've not weighed out any water yet, so I'll just do that, make sure I get it accurate, so that I know that at all times my sourdough culture will be the consistency that I'm expecting it to be, which is 5 parts flour, 7 parts water. So I want to get this absolutely spot on. 35. In with that. Give it a good stir. Now, because this has filled this pot up, that's a sign of things to come, so I'm going to expect this to be very vigorous over the next few days. So I'm going to give it a little bit more room. I'm going to put it in a bigger pot and let it do its work in that. So mix it all up, move it to a bigger pot, which I've made sure is nice and clean, and then this is definitely ready to go in the fridge. There's no need for this to stay out of the kitchen. It's very vigorous now, and because it's been fed every day, it'll expect to be fed every day, and it'll be making sure it's really hungry when it's feeding time. So even over the next hour or two, this will probably be bubbling away like mad, but I'm not going to worry about that. So that's the rye dealt with, and the lid on that into the fridge. Now the The wheat, as I said, it's looking a bit so-so at the moment, but if I keep feeding it, it'll get the picture that the good times have arrived, and it's going to get fed regularly, so it'll get into the rhythm. So I'm going to throw about half of this away, give it a stir first. There's a small amount of water separated out, but I'm not too worried about that. So it's not particularly dirty or anything, so I'm going to throw half of that away. Don't have to be exact because the ratio is the thing. It's the same ratio of flour to water at all times, so it doesn't really matter whether I throw half of it or 3/4 of it away, whatever. So I have measured my 25 grams of flour in with that. Now we're going to have 35 grams of water. You soon get into the habit of doing this measuring, it becomes second nature. 35 grams of water in with that. Quick stir. Make sure all the flour's taken up, none of it's stuck on the side of the pot. Keep stirring until you've got the lumps under control. And some people suggest whisking it, so you can, if you've got an electric whisk, you can get that in, and that has the advantage of introducing some air into the mixture. And if you get bored with stirring pots of culture, then that's an easy way out, but you do get the washing up. That's the downside. Right, so that's, you see that now looks quite pasty, whereas before it's all wishy-washy. It's hard to see, but it looks more like thick batter now than rather wishy-washy, watery, nondescript stuff. So, we're done with that. So now we've got two cultures which are definitely both showing signs of life. They're definitely going to be fine to bake with in less than a month's time now. I think no, it's just over a month's time now. And when we have sourdough Saturdays at the Herring Core Mill in Beetham. So see you again when I give this another feed, and you can see what shape they're in then.